Okay, so let's start. Today we are going to cover the latest update for our room software, which is called TrueConf Room, obviously. And the new version number 4 is a major release for us, and I'd like to talk a little bit in details about this update. We have prepared a little demonstration for you. You have I believe you are seeing two screens, me, and on the side you can see two big screens with a TrueConf Room software installed on a small PC located behind one of those screens. So we usually recommend to use Intel Mac PCs for Room software, but it could be any kind of PC under Windows operating system. And shortly, please follow our blog and our newsletter. We are going to release the version of this software for Linux. First of all, it will be released for Ubuntu operating system later this autumn. But today we're going to cover the version of TrueConf Room, which is already released last week or 2 weeks ago, not long time ago. And I'm going to show you my screen with a slide deck, and the slides will be presented alongside with the interface of the control panel of this solution. But before we start, I'd like to remind you what TrueConf Room is and why it is a very interesting solution and very affordable solution for your projects and for your customer room premises. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in chat. I will try to monitor chat in real time and answer your questions. Okay, so I will start to share my screen. Just a moment. By the way, this is our new TrueConf 8 client application. So if you like to try it, please have a look on our blog. We have a group for beta testers of this new application. It will be released shortly. But if you'd like to test it earlier, please go to our blog. Okay, so TrueConf Room is a pure software endpoint. Because it is a pure software endpoint, we do not actually provide any hardware appliance for it. So if I go to our website and open the product page, instead of the order button, you will see the download button, because this system is designed to be installed installed on any PC or laptop you might have in your room, and it can be equipped with any USB peripherals your conference room already have, or you can buy on the market. Any USB cameras, speakerphones, microphones, or speakers can be used together with this software. Basically, this software is built upon our Windows application. So it's kind of different interface for our Windows application. Instead of keyboard and mouse, we use remote control panel to control this endpoint, to control the software, while in regular Windows application, usually we use mouse to control it. So the only difference is the way we control the application. And because this solution is designed for conference room, it doesn't output on the main screen additional elements of interface like chats, like notifications. Main screen is always clear to display the remote parties, the video conference itself, or some content. Of course, we provide some additional elements which you will never find in our desktop application, but which are very suitable for room environment. For example, the list of upcoming events in this room, or instructions on how to get control over the room where TrueConf Room is installed. So this software can be connected to our server or to our cloud solution. We recommend to use our server because it provides more features compared to TrueConf Online Cloud, and actually it is free to use, and we do not put any limitations in terms of quality features between the free version of our software and paid version of TrueConf Room. Basically, most of our customers use the free version of TrueConf Room software. It is free to use. Has a full version, but with a very small number of additional features, which are not essential, and you can use the free version as a software for your room. The size of the application is approximately 100 megabytes, and it can be started on any Windows machine. It could be Windows 8 or Windows 10, doesn't matter. Okay, so once we install this application on our machine, it will replace the Windows environment with the main screen of the room software. You can see it on the left screen. On the left screen, you see the interface which shows you the information about how to get control over the room by either scanning the QR code to get the access to control panel, or by following the link, IP address or DNS name for the room endpoint. And if you follow this link, you will immediately get access to the control panel. In a full version, you can protect this link by entering special PIN code or login and password. But in the free version, it is open for everybody. But we believe if a person can walk into the room, you can trust him. All those elements on the main screen can be customized, so you can disable some of them or enable some of them. I hope you can see in a large screen. Okay, just a moment. I will make my assistant moderator. Just a moment. Alex, could you please make it larger, the main screen? Now you can see the room itself in a larger screen. So on the left screen, the main screen, on the right screen is a second monitor connected to my PC, and between them below you can see the touch panel. It is actually an Android tablet, but it could be USB touch panel or laptop or your mobile phone. So basically, I will return to the slide deck. We can use different options to control the software endpoint. It could be USB touch panel, for example, Logitech tab. Depending on the country where you are located, you might have different options. It could be USB touch panel produced by Mimo, or it could be a Lenovo Smart Hub device with built-in touch panel over the PC. It could be HP Slice, again, with built-in touch panel, or it could be any other tablet. For example, iPad or Galaxy Tab or Huawei or Xiaomi tablets based on Android. On those screens and tablets, we provide nice ways to make sure that the user in a room will see the control panel for the room device instead of the operating system. When we connect USB touchscreen to the PC, we have a special command line instructions which command our room software specifically to always show the control panel on the USB touchscreen. So you will never, even if you reboot the device, you won't be able to see the operating system. So people in the room won't be confused with additional operating systems interface elements. If we use Android tablet, we can provide you a special Android application file. It's not on the market yet. It's going to be uploaded to Google Play a little bit later, but it is already available directly from us as an APK file. And this APK file is a kind of launcher. So once you run this application for Android, it will scan your network for rooms where TrueConf Room is installed and will display you the list of such rooms. So you have to select the preferred room for this tablet, and it will save those settings. So once you enable the tablet next time, or you unlock the tablet next time, it will always display you the control panel of the endpoint where this tablet is installed. And the third way to control the solution is to use your smartphone. So on the left main screen, you can see the QR code. So if I scan this QR code using my phone, and if my phone is connected using Wi-Fi to the same network where room device is installed, I immediately will be able to see the control panel of the device. Control panel supports two modes, like tablet mode or browser mode, and smartphone mode. In smartphone mode, we deliver the special version of the interface, which is optimized for vertical orientation. It can be used on any smartphone. You can use any control panel from touch screen, from your browser, from your smartphone to receive calls, initialize calls, control meetings, the same experience, but optimized for the way you choose to control this room solution. Basically, the room software comes with a built-in web server, and this web server render the control panel for depending on option you decide to use to control the solution. Okay, so let's proceed for the new features of this update. I will check for questions, just a moment. No questions so far. Okay, this is the control panel. I will put it on the full screen. Alex, could you please make our pictures even? Thank you. So you should see on my screen the control panel of the TrueConf Room software. And on another side of the screen, you see the picture of actual installation of TrueConf Room software. So we totally redesigned the main control panel window. Now you have access to 4 most common actions our users requested. So let's go through them. First of all, I can create a meeting using a single tap or click. So once I click ad hoc meeting, I immediately create a conference, and the control panel now shows me the UI interface of the conference controls, where I can manage participants, equipment, my PPZ camera, and layouts. While on the other side, you can see that the room endpoint doesn't have any interface elements on screen instead of my video or some other participants' video. So it's clear from all these control elements. We can utilize up to 4 screens connected to this software. In this installation today, we will use 2 screens, left and right one, and I will show you later how we can use them. To end the conference, I can tap on the big red button to end the conference. On the left side of the control panel, the upcoming meetings for today, for the current day, are displayed. So I don't have at the moment any meetings scheduled for my user, which is authenticated on TrueConf Room software for this day, for 14th of September. However, I could create such a meeting using another popular options, create a meeting. When we create a meeting, we can recreate conferences we created before. Every conference created before is stored like a template. So if people use this device in a room, this software in a room before, we can recreate some meetings, or we can use templates to create them. We can create meetings of different conference types we support. So it could be all on-screen, video lecture, role-based conference. We can access the existing meeting using the same main window of the control panel. It could be a specific meeting ID, we know. It could be some virtual rooms where the user who is authenticated on a room endpoint is invited, will be displayed in this section. It could be scheduled meetings where my user, authenticated user, was invited, or I can select any host who is already holding a meeting from my end user. And like before, we can browse contact list. So we have different filters in a contact list. It could be TrueConf users, it could be phone numbers. All those types of contacts can be populated remotely by administrator or manually from the room software itself. and the room endpoint separate them. So we don't see them in a one list. We see different lists for regular phones, for SIP endpoints, for RTSP video streams, for H323 endpoints, and for conferences if they were added to our address book. And it is easy to select the contact we'd like to call using this interface. In the top left corner, we're seeing the settings, and this version received many new settings compared to the previous version, because this number 4 version of the Room software is based on TrueConf client version 8. It's not released yet, but I invite you to join the beta testing of it. And together with this new engine, it received some features only 8 versions of our client application have. For example, very nice support for popular USB peripherals made by Logitech, Poly, or Jabra. So if you connect the speakerphones or video bars from such manufacturers, your devices will be synchronized with our Room software, so you can mute and unmute your microphone, or you can accept or decline a call, or you can end the meeting using the buttons or sensor touch buttons on those devices. We also added some additional settings for echo canceling, because usually when you like to save the budget, you are not using speakerphone in your room, you use regular microphones. And it is okay, it is totally okay to use the microphones you already have in your webcam. So for super affordable installation, you can choose any web camera with microphone built in. We recommend Logitech 900 series. It could be 920, 930, whatever you find. And because with very nice built-in echo canceling engine, we make sure that the audio which goes out from the TV speakers are not captured by the microphones built into the camera. So we can significantly decrease the cost of implementation of this solution. However, we have to equalize the room. That means we have to tell our software where microphone is located. And for this, we use this estimate button. So once you click, we will produce some white noise. And based on this white noise, we will be able to estimate, predict where the microphone is located. And we will calculate the time which took the sound of your voice to reach the microphone, and it will help significantly to improve the quality of echo cancel. This is a new feature. Here you can also see the security section, which is only available for in full version of the software. In free version, you are not able to protect the control panel access. So here we can protect it using the password or PIN code. Usually we do not enable those protections, so we can trust people who are located in our office. Another difference between the free version and the full version, it is not possible in a full version for user to change audio and video devices. So if administrators select camera and microphone and speakers in a full version, user is not able to change them. But in free version, users can change them. Okay. Some other settings are very similar to our Windows application. I will only highlight changes which are relevant to the Room solution. Just a moment. Here it is. So using these settings called main screen settings, we can customize how the main screen of the application on a TV looks like. So for example, we can replace the background used in a room, or we can replace the logo. displayed on the main screen, so we can customize the experience. It could be the logo of your customer or your own organization logo. We can hide date and time, connection details, or list of upcoming meetings. So we decide what information should be displayed on the main screen. We can also hide or display the small badge located on the right bottom corner of a screen, which shows the user who is authenticated at the moment on a room solution, on a room software. This is a new settings for customization. We also added some new features to ease the process of joining the conference from room solution. Starting from the next release of our server, server 5.0, it will be possible to generate a special QR code for every meeting on the TrueConf server. So if you show this QR code to the camera of your room software, it will be recognized and the room solution will immediately join that meeting if it is located on a local server or server federated, accessible from your server. So it can ease the process. So on the go, you can walk into the room, scan the QR code, and immediately get connected to the meeting. Okay, so let's proceed to the new features located in the conference control screen. So I will create a meeting again, and this time our bots are active. I will add participants. Let's add more people here. Okay. I'd like to add someone else. Yeah. Now we have 5 people in a call and me, so it's like 6 people call. We can see on the control panel that the number of participants is 6. So if we go to participants tab, we are able to control all participants in this call by special small buttons, which are optimized for tablets. So I don't need to use, of course, the mouse. Imagine that we usually use my tablet or smartphone to control the meeting. So by simply tapping on screen, we are able to access the most common actions like mute microphone, mute camera, or drop someone from the call. And just all I need is just to click or tap on those small buttons to make this possible. In the previous version, the number that participants were displayed using small rectangles, small badges. It was quite difficult to manage large meetings. In this release, it is very easy to manage meetings with hundreds of participants because you can scroll through them easily. They are sorted in alphabetical order, and we can see in top of the list moderators and, for example, people who are speakers in a role-based conference. So very similar to our Windows application. At any moment, using this interface, we can add more people to the call or search for people who are already located in the call. If we have, let's say, 30, 50, 100 participants, it's very useful to use search here. Once I return to the main screen control panel of the for the conference, we can also access here most typical actions like microphone mute. So just a single tap to mute the microphone. It's very easy. We also added support for capture cards. Now, if you have a capture card, I have a capture card on this PC. Once I attach any HDMI source to the capture card, the room software will sense it and will enable this button. So you will be able to switch from your camera to content source and send this content to the conference. Very easy to do. This is possible to mute. Okay. In this control panel, you have to manually mute people. Those participants are bots, and I'm not able to mute them, but regular people, of course, will be muted. so you have to manually mute them. But if we are talking about the new version of our application, then I can mute easily all. I can mute easily. Let me check. I will change the language. Sorry for Russian, just a moment. Yeah. So in our regular application, the new version, you will be able to turn off, mute all, or turn off everyone's cameras. So this feature, Gideon, you're asking for, is already available in our Windows application, but we do not at the moment have it in the Room solution. But it will be there, of course. It is very useful. So now we can do that because again, the Room software is the same Windows 8 application with a different interface. So it is very easy for us to add features from the 8 version of our application to the Room software. Okay. The new interface was created to manage layouts because we can have up to 4 screens. Regular computer usually have 2 video outputs, let's say HDMI DisplayPort or USB Type-C video output. If we talk about Intel computers, the second screen is usually connected using Type-C. But some video cards, they support 3 or 4 outputs, so we can utilize them as well. And this is a unique feature of TrueConf Room. So we can output custom layout on every screen using this interface, using my finger. So let's do some basics here. First of all, we decided to move the layout type we are using to the bottom area of the screen instead of the side area to maximize the screen property used to display the layout. So if I go there, our regular types of layouts are located here. You can see on the Room endpoint that once I change the layout on the control panel, it gets immediately applied to the meeting on a big screen. However, if we have multiple screens, we can easily drag and move around participants from the main screen to another screen. So it could be a content screen, it could be an important VIP speaker, presenter, or whatever person you'd like to move to the second, third, or fourth screen. So again, this solution support up to 4 screens. This especially could be useful for streaming community, for organizations who run TV shows, because they can, using this feature, control the video source, which is grabbed, captured by TV, professional TV software like vMixers, hardware, and chorus, which use the video conferencing as a source, or it could be useful to display the second content stream on a big, nice screen, the second nice screen you might have in your room. We are able to display only one participant or content stream on additional monitors. So it could be only one participant. It is not possible to add a second. It will replace the first one. Or I can move it from the second monitor again to the main screen. So this is how it works very easily to manage layouts on a multiple screen. So we have like a main screen with a main layout, and up to 3 additional screens we can use to pull any participant out from the layout to make it larger. Easy to do. The nice thing is, because our protocol we use in our solutions allows us to receive multiple streams in a conference from every participant, and it allows us to build very nice resolution up to 4K on the main screen and up to 1080p on additional screens in the Room software. So the picture we can see here is like actual telepresence experience. So we're not limited like in traditional video conferencing endpoints to a mixed layout and a content. We can see more people on 2 or 3 screens or 4 screens with very nice quality, not limited to 1080p. Main screen could be 4K, as I said, and additional screens is 1080p, up to 30 frames per second. That gives immersive experience in the room. So just imagine you have a room with 4 big screens or LED screens, so we can utilize all this screen property very efficiently and output very nice meetings. The total resolution, if you put all screens together, could be 8K. This is amazing. Is it possible to transmit camera at the same time? Gideon, I don't get your questions actually. Could you please explain it in more details? Thank you. We also added support for okay, I got a question, just a moment. We also added support for active speaker mode, voice activity detection, or voice activated speaker. So there are different names for the same feature. Once this mode is enabled, the largest participant on the main screen, the largest window in the layout, will be automatically replaced every time a new participant in the call will start to speak. So we don't have to manually make larger a person who is speaking now. It will be automatically enlarged using this active speaker mode feature. It's useful to change the layout to this type to make the speaking person even larger, while the content could be presented on the same screen. Another new feature is slide management. So we have a very nice interface for slides. But before I go there, just a moment, 2 cameras. Your question, Gideon, was 2 cameras. So it is possible, like in a Windows application, to switch cameras on the go. So when I'm in the call, I can click audio and video settings and change the camera. For example, I can change the camera to this one. You can see Alex, the yellow t-shirt, rolling. Or you can see me again. So yes, you can switch cameras on the go, of course. But we do not recommend to do this. If a user changes settings, probably the user could select the wrong settings, wrong microphone, wrong speaker, and wrong camera. And the next person who will use this room will receive the poor experience. The endpoint won't be useful for him or she because the previous user changed some settings. That's why we put these settings in a full version. So it is possible in the full version to lock those settings for regular users. Okay, so the slide management, usually slide management is not used on my laptop. I'm using my laptop as a control panel. So of course it is better to use a tablet. So in a tablet, especially on iPads, we have iCloud or have our photo gallery, which very nice, could be used to access images or files we have. So here we can add slides. Okay, let me check what I have here. I have very nice pictures, rooms, and Baikal Sea here. So when meeting starts, we can upload screens using this interface. Again, on tablets and iPads, it looks the uploading process looks even better because I'm located in a Windows machine. So once I hit the play, you can see that in a layout now we are seeing additional content stream. So I put this content on a second screen right now, and yeah, this is how I control the layout. So now we have a very complex layout with the content on the right side, and a participant who is speaking is big on the main screen, and I can use the same control panel from my tablet or laptop or smartphone to control slides, change them. So and it is immediately applied to the content all other participants receive in a call. Even if we connect to the same call endpoints who speaks regular protocols like SIP and TrueConf Room, of course we will be able to with the help of the gateway which is built into the TrueConf server, to transcode those slides to standard-based equipment and vice versa. If someone will start to share the content from Cisco Poly endpoint, we will be able to receive this content stream on TrueConf Room software and put that content stream on the second screen. That's how it works. We usually travel through our country with educational seminars because it is not very easy to get outside of Russia at the moment, like same problem in most of the countries nowadays. So we spend more time traveling, and last week we did very nice seminars in Siberia, in Irkutsk cities. So we visited Baikal Lake last week, so you can see the actual picture from the last week on this slide on the right screen. Today we had another seminars in other cities, so it's pretty tough, like 16 or 17 cities for September and October. So almost every week we have education seminars somewhere. Okay, so let's return to the control of the conference. I will end the slide deck. Just a moment. Click here. Very easy to do. Now we have the right screen empty because we don't have any content. So I have to manually populate it with some other. The resolution will scale automatically. So Room supports SVC technique. That means it requests from the server the exact resolution it requires to properly display the participant in the layout on additional screen. So we do not use more bandwidth than we are looking at. So all the bandwidth is optimized to the selected layouts on all screens. The next feature here is the camera control. So if I put on the right screen myself, I will be able to control the camera using the same control panel. So I can move it or move around, so like in any other solution. So again, this interface is optimized for touch, so I can use it in a tablet. It is also possible to manage remote PQZ cameras if the remote party supports this management, so I can manage remote cameras as well. It's also possible to assign presets, but it depends on the camera. Some cameras do support this, some cameras are not. So we can create presets in our room software for cameras which speaks 232 Vista protocols. And the last feature, but very powerful one, which was added to this release, is the real-time management. Some advanced users of our system who use our solution for very large meetings already know this feature. So we decided to make it accessible from the room software again as well. So, okay, just a moment. Yeah, I have to install the certificate. Okay, I will show you the same interface. I have to install the certificate here. On a tablet, it will work differently, smoothly, but the idea is that we have real-time management. So I will use real-time management for our actual meeting. So in real-time management, we can create individual layouts for every participant. So Hubert, you will be a test person for me. So I will create an individual layout for you. So now you see individual layout, and I can remove it for you. So in the same interface is now available in the room software. We can use this interface to change the layout of SIP and free-to-free endpoints, because in our system, TrueConf users are able to select whatever layout they want using our Windows application, native applications, or control panel of our room software. But SIP-and-FreeRTOFree endpoints are not able to select their own layout because they always receive the video conference as a mixed layout. So we created such interface in our server to create individual layout or layout for all SIP-and-FreeRTOFree devices simultaneously. So we can create different content types, different layout types, content, whatever we need. And once we apply the layout, it will be mixed and delivered to SIP-and-FreeRTOFree endpoints. And the same interface could be used to manage participants. For example, I can adjust the sensitivity of the microphone of remote participant. Please pay attention, I'm not able to change the sensitivity of people who are connected using browser, because in this case we are not able to control Chrome, but people who are connected using our own application and who use our own protocol will receive more functions like not only sensitivity of the microphone we can change, we can remotely mute the microphone, turn it off, or we can change the microphone or camera remotely. So for example, you are joining a meeting from a room and you see that your party is using the wrong microphone. Instead of the headset, he is using the built-in microphone from the laptop, which produces a lot of noise. So we can go to this advanced control of the conference, locate this participant, and remotely change the microphone or camera he's using to troubleshoot this issue. So this is a very powerful interface. And in the new version of our server, version 5, it becomes even more powerful. But we will cover this later, I believe, in our next webinar about TrueConf Server 5. So I will close these advanced controls. Once again, advanced controls are located here, real-time management. Because we use secured connection, HTTPS, so we require SSL certificate for those settings to be displayed on your control panel. That's why we show this warning screen. So we have to install the certificate to be able to access those advanced settings of our server. We also added the information about the current call on the control panel. So now it is the same you see on our Windows application. So now we can see the outgoing bandwidth and the bandwidth we receive from our server and the set of the layouts we receive from the parties during the call. So in some cases, when our technical support will ask you, it might be useful for us. So that's why we make those information about the call accessible. And the last thing for today is the built-in QR code. So for example, if you'd like to share the screen of your laptop or your smartphone during the meeting in a room, you have to either use the HDMI capture card and attach HDMI cable to your laptop, or if you don't have a capture card, you can use this QR code. So you can scan this code from your phone, or you can copy the link located here and put it on your laptop or smartphone and call the same meeting. So you will be able to access the same meeting in a room using this link. You have to disable your mic, of course, otherwise it will create a lot of echo and the speakers, but you will be able to send your contact from an additional device to this meeting. So this will be useful. We're working on a new feature for the future releases, which will allow us to share wirelessly the content using browser, any browser, and special link. But right now, if you'd like to introduce the content from other source, other than the HDMI source, you have to join the same meeting from additional client application of TrueConf and share the content from that additional client. So I will drop this call, roll, and that's it. that was the review of the new features of TrueConf Room 4.0. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. Okay. Do you have any questions? Okay, no questions so far. Good. Can you change on all 4 screens the layout individual? Yes, but as I said, for additional screens, we can only select 1 participant per screen. So we can move any participant from the main layout to additional screens, but only 1 per screen, not 2 or 3. So we manage the layout only on main screen. Okay, thank you for the questions, Ben. Any other questions? Have? Thank you. So we will send you the recording and the slide deck of this webinar for every person who registered on the webinar. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them on our website. We have like a live chat on our website. Feel free to ask any questions. This software we showed you today, the TrueConf Room, is already available, so you can download it right now. Try it. It is free to use. It is a very efficient way to save the budget on a conference room equipment, because you can use web cameras, additional existing PCs or laptops to produce very nice room environment and the room experience. So very high quality 4K conferences. Thank you for your time and have a nice day, and goodbye. See you later. Bye-bye.